Hi, this is Bill Stannard from the YES program. Welcome back to YES Online Learning. This is our 5th video in coding the P51 bomber game. Let's get right to it, okay? You'll notice right now we have our P51, the shuttle, which is going to be our fighter that comes out to attack the bombers. We have 3 bombers, and we have the fireball. We're going to go and take a look at the code for the shuttle. So I'm going to click on the shuttle, and then I'm going to click on scripts. And the first piece of the script that I'm going to add, you guessed it, I am going to go to I'm going to go to event. And it's when the scene starts. That's always the first one. First thing I'm going to do is set the size of the shuttle to 60%. So I'm going to click plus, and that's a look. And I'm going to set it to 60%. That's pretty easy. The next thing I want to do, because the shuttle is going to be following one of these bombers, I want to set its rotation style, because sometimes if you don't specifically set the rotation style of a sprite, it does some unusual things. And the rotation style is in motion. So I'm going to click on my plus, I'm going to go to motion, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to set the rotation style. And I'm going to move it down below the 60%, and I'm going to set my rotation style to all around. So to do that, I'm going to click on the little white arrow that's pointing down on the right-hand side there, and I'm going to click on all around. Okay, now I want to place the shuttle off the screen to the right and have it come out at a random place. So I'm going to place it. That's a motion, so I'm going to click plus. I'm going to go to motion, and I'm going to use the place. And I'm going to have to drag it down underneath, set the rotation style, and I'm going to set it off screen at 450 on the x-axis. So I'm going to click on 100. I'm going to edit the formula, and I'm going to type in 450, and then click OK. For the y position, I'm going to click on the 200. I'm going to edit the formula. I'm going to come over to functions and choose the random value function. And once I have that random value function up there, I'm going to type in minus 600, and after that 600. So I'm going to type that in as 600, and I'm going to click OK. That means that it will start all the way over off screen on the right, and it'll start somewhere from near the top of the screen to somewhere near the bottom of the screen. And then what I want it to do is I want it to come on the screen and start following bomber number 1. Now you remember all the bombers look the same. So when it starts following bomber number 1, the person playing the game won't know that it's always following the same bomber, because they're going to be in different positions every time you play the game. So let's get that forever loop going and put that over there. So I hit plus, and then control, and then forever. Again, don't forget to drag it down, and as soon as I drag it down and put it into position, the forever loop creates the end of loop. So I want it to follow that first bomber, so it's going to point toward that first bomber. So I'm going to use the plus sign and a motion, and I'm going to look for the point toward. So I'm going to scroll down, and there it says point toward P51. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to drag it down, and I'm going to put it inside of the forever loop. Don't forget to do that, or the game won't work. And then I'm going to click on the little down arrow all the way to the right, and I want it to point at bomber number 1. You can see when we just did that, you could have it point at anything on the screen you wanted. But in this case, we want it to be bomber number 1. and we want it to move forward. Okay, so we're going to move it a couple of steps forward. Click on the plus, go to motion, and we are going to have it move so many steps forward. So I'm going to click on the move 10 steps, drag it down. I'm going to put it underneath the points toward bomber number 1, again inside of the forever loop, and I'm going to have it move 3 steps. And I picked 3 because I've played this game a couple of times, and 3 seems to be a pretty good number that works. Okay, so now what we're going to have to do is add some more code, and you'll remember that we want the shuttle to be shot down when it gets hit by a fireball. So we're going to have to set up to receive information so that when it does get hit with a fireball, we know that something's happened. Okay, so we're going to have this happen with messages. So to create a message, I am going to click on the plus sign. I'm going to go to event, and I'm going to go down to the 4th one, when you receive. Click on that, and I'm going to drag that all the way down. Make sure you drag it all the way down to the bottom of your screen. And it's when you receive fire. In this case, it's not going to be fire. It's going to be when you receive hit, H-I-T. So I'm going to click on the word fire, and I'm going to click on the word new, and I'm going to put in H-I-T. Okay, when you receive hit, what do you want to have happen? Well, the first thing we want to have happen is we want the shuttle to disappear. So we're going to have to add hide. So that's under looks, and there's hide. And again, you have to drag it all the way down to the bottom. And we want an explosion sound. So we're going to hit the plus key, and we're going to add a sound. And we're going to use the second one down, start sound and wait. So we're going to click on start sound and wait, drag it all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to click on the word new for a new sound, click on it again, and we're going to go into the media library, and we are going to look for an explosion sound. Okay, once we get to our media library, scroll down, and just about in the middle of the pack of the explosion sounds in the right-hand column, we have explode. Let's see what that sounds like. Click on the black triangle. That's a pretty good explosion sound. So I'm now going to click on the icon, and it will download it. So now it's going to start sound and wait, and the sound is going to be the sound of an explosion. So it's now hidden. I'm going to move it off to the side, off the right-hand side of the screen where it started life. So that's going to be another place at. Okay? And one of the ways of doing that, and here's a little trick, is to go up to the upper part of your code where it says place at X450, and I am going to click in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to put a check next to that piece of code, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to click on the check mark. So now I have that down here, place at 450. You'll see it's just under end of loop. I'm going to click on it and then drag it down. When you click on it, it highlights it, and you can drag it down. Let's check that out. It's at 450, and let's check the random. The random is minus 600 and 600, so that's okay. And once it's there, I want it to show itself. So I'm going to click on plus, and I'm going to click on looks, and I'm going to click on show. And once that appears, I'm going to drag it down. So it's now showing itself. So we're going to stop here. Let's see what it looks like when it starts moving. So I'm going to click on play. And there it is. It's coming in from the side. And look, it's going after one of those. It's following bomber number 1. Now it's coming back down. And whoop, it did a nose spin there, and it started following that one. And it came back down again. Now it's going to follow this guy all the way over to the right. So it seems to be working so far. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the back arrow and the back arrow. And we will join you back here when you start the next video. So this is Bill Stannard from the Yes Program, and we'll see you for video number 6. Thanks for watching.